Hey guys, it's Siobhan with ToKittyandBeyond. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing the year ahead reading for Aquarius, and that can apply to Aquarius Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus, or whatever Aquarius placement brought you here to this reading. There's probably some messages here for you, so just take what resonates with you. Not everything will resonate with everybody, as we are working with collective energies and future probabilities. Keep in mind that nothing is set in stone. The energy and the cards that come up in this reading can always be shifted from your conscious awareness. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and jump into the reading. I'm going to pull some cards and we will see you in a second. All right, hi Aquarius, welcome to your reading. Let's get started with January. So for January, you guys have the Death card, and death is about, well, death. It doesn't have to be a physical death. It can be more metaphorical. It's unexpected endings most of the time, so it can come up in really unexpected ways, things coming to a conclusion, ending in some way, but these are bringing justice. Any endings that you're experiencing in January are going to be bringing justice, fairness, and balance to your life. Something may needed to have ended to welcome in something that's better for you, more in alignment with you, or more fair in what you're needing. Conclusions are within reach. Yeah, exactly. With that Death card, and then this card is major confirmation. In January, you're going to be finishing up some old cycles. It's the beginning of a new year, so it's the perfect time to do that, as you have that opportunity to make some conclusions, especially ones that are really good and fair for you. This could also be like endings of legal stuff, like court cases or taxes, or anything outstanding of a legal nature that was still ongoing from 2020 moving into 2021. There's going to be conclusions to that. Full moon eclipse as well, you guys. Oh my God, I just realized I am literally filming this on the full moon eclipse of Gemini. So this full moon eclipse of Gemini that we're in right now, November 30th, could be something that triggered this into January 2021. So, I mean, and that makes sense because full moon eclipses have like a 6-month period that they affect us. So something has been kind of on its way out of your life to welcome in something new, especially as it relates to legalities and fairness and justice for yourself. You also have the blue heron, which just came up in the full moon reading I did on the live. So it says, make a stand for what you believe in and do what feels right in spite of any judgment or disapproval from others. So this is doing what's right and fair for you. This is you standing in what is just in accordance with your moral beliefs and standards. So stand your ground in that, even if that means that you have to stand alone, because there's a conclusion that will benefit you from not caring what other people think and putting yourself out there in a positive way. You also have not for you. So whatever it was not for you, and it's being removed from your life for a reason. So whatever it was that's coming to a conclusion, whatever it was that's being removed, or even like if you're experiencing some kind of rejection, it's protection from the divine. It's being removed from your life because it doesn't align with you or your soul at some level. So it's not for you, therefore it's not going to be in your life. You have heavenly mercy as well. So you're receiving some kind of a mercy that's needed to be able to continue to move forward. This is like a major cleansing for you guys. It feels very fated, very destined. Things are changing, and they're changing for a reason. This could be in terms of mercy being applied to you with the legal outcome as well. It could be, you know, that you're forgiven for something, or that something is absolved so that you don't have to deal with it anymore. And the luck that you had in the past was because that thing that you were trying to do was just simply not for you, and pushing against, you know, what your soul needs in favor of what your ego wants can sometimes create situations where you are out of alignment, and those eclipses will bring that right front and center and cause that shift to happen for the better. So let's go ahead and look at what's going on in February. You guys have the 10 of Wands. Yeah, so there's another sort of conclusion type of energy here, where the 10 of Wands is a burden that is being released. So you've had a lot of stuff on your plate, Aquarius. You've had things piling up. You've had tons and tons of responsibilities. And the 10 of Wands is coming in and saying, you know, you've got to put some of it down, because there needs to be an ending. There needs to be closing. There needs to be conclusion to this burden that you've been carrying, or these multiple burdens you've been kind of taking the responsibility for. And it's not healthy for you. So it's like, it's too much. It needs to go. And it's causing a lot of stress and anxiety for you. It may even be feeling like you're limited in some way, like you have so much burdens and responsibilities that you really can't see the way forward, that it's really like you've lost touch with why you were doing it in the first place. And that's why things need to change, is because it's, like I said, it's just not in alignment with you anymore. And it's creating restrictions where there needs to be freedom. Step out of your comfort zone, North Node. So the North Node is all about your future potential and your positive karma that you can use moving forward. So it's what's destined for you in this life. It's your purpose, it's your path. And it's asking you to step out of your comfort zone, where that Eight of Swords might have been like very much in your mental comfort zone. But at the same time, it's very limiting and self-limiting for that matter. So it's like, you've got to free yourself, free your mind to be able to get out of those cycles that are not for you. Spider, trust the creative spark you're feeling and express it through writing stories that inspire and enlighten. So maybe you're even feeling called to share your voice in some way creatively, whether it's through speech or through writing. It's expressing yourself in some way that maybe it has not been in your comfort zone. Maybe that's not something that you do on a regular basis or have done in the past, but it's part of your purpose. It's part of your calling. You may be being called to share a story that you've lived, and maybe it could help other people to do that. And it's about kind of, letting go of things that are keeping you stuck from not doing that. Mending. You have mending here coming in February, Aquarius, to help you to heal anything that has been broken. They're showing me the spider's web with holes in it. It's like things have been getting through that should not have been getting through, and you've not had the opportunities that you should have because there were some holes in the bucket or in the web. And this mending energy is coming in February to help sew that up, to help fix that and resolve those issues so that nothing gets by you anymore that's meant for you. And it's not that anything that is meant for you will not be available to you. It's just that maybe there were some opportunities that presented that were in alignment with you that you chose not to take because of some fears or too many responsibilities and things on your plate as it was. So if it's really meant for you, it'll always come back around. There will always be another opportunity. It's just about whether you choose to take action and to jump on it when it does present itself. You have authentic voice here. So with that spider card and this card, this is like a megaphone to speak your truth. It's important for you to share your authentic voice, to speak your truth, to heal any parts of you that have had fear about doing that, so that you can really show up in your life, in the world, in a big way, Aquarius. This is your time to shine. I know that a lot of the other cards have been getting, a lot of the other readings and the other signs have been getting similar messages and similar cards coming up. It's really about standing in your authenticity. So first, you kind of have to figure out what that is. And then once you understand what your truth is and how you feel good expressing that, then it's about actually just doing it, putting yourself out there, getting out of your comfort zone, writing something, speaking something, telling your story. It's going to be important. So for March, you guys have the Ace of Pentacles, so you've got a new opportunity that's coming in for you, should you choose to accept it. This is a seed that can be planted and create growth long term for you. So there's that coming in. It's an offer from the universe. And you have the Page of Pentacles too. Oh my God. So this might be an offer of some kind or some money that comes in to help you to grow that. It's almost like the Ace of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles are like, hey, here's some money and let's see what you can do with it. Where do you want to invest it? What are you going to do with that offer, that opportunity? Are you going to act on it? Are you going to be open to the learning and the growth that comes with this new opportunity? Because down the line, it's going to come back tenfold. You're going to have a lot of return on your investment here when it comes to this opportunity. It's from the universe. That means it's aligned with you. So take that opportunity in March. There could be a lot of gifts coming in, offers coming in. A new romantic cycle might be part of this as well, a new moon in Libra. So this is bringing balance and harmony and justice to your relationships. In March, you might have an opportunity of love coming in. Maybe they're taking you out on dates or buying you presents, like the pentacles can be physical things like that. So this could be a new romantic cycle where somebody is kind of showering you with gifts or opportunities. And you have Emu. This is a good time to go on a new adventure. Oh my God, Aquarius, are you guys going to be going on a trip of some kind, or like an adventure with this person? Maybe this person like offers you a vacation, or, you know, to go with them on like a road trip or something like that. It's like there's offers, right? Those pentacles are offers that come in. Those are messages. Those are opportunities. So you've got really good potential here in March. It's looking great. Truth be told, you have that again, authentic voice, truth be told, the spider card, all of it's encouraging you to really speak from the heart, to share your story, to speak your truth, to share your wisdom, to take off the mask and really show up as yourself, unafraid of rejection, unafraid of vulnerability, unafraid of just being you and standing in your power. And that doesn't mean that that fear is not there. It just means that you're going to have the courage to go through it anyway. Divine alchemy, Aquarius. You guys are creating huge shifts from one thing to the other. You are alchemizing lead and turning it into gold. You're taking one element and transforming it into something else that can benefit you. Alchemy is also about, it's like the philosopher's stone, right? It's the stone of the elixir of life. Like, it gives you this amazing resource of vital force energy that you didn't have before. When you stand in your authenticity and you are aligned at soul level, this is when you have the greatest source of energy available to you. So if you guys want to find out more about who you are at soul level and how you can work with this energy as an individual, as well as any areas of karmic patterns or choices or blocks from past or past lives that have been impeding this flow of energy for you and hampering your success, please reach out to me. I do Akashic record readings for that purpose. So divine alchemy is helping you to take those old things and transform them into something that's beautiful and new and in alignment with you. Okay, so let's look at what's going on in April. Yes. Oh my God. You have the 10 of Pentacles, Aquarius. So that Ace of Pentacles got offered to you. You took it. You were the page. You were ready to start something new. You were investing in it. And then look at this. Like, that's a really, really fast return on your investment. That's literally 1 month, 30 days, maybe even less, that you have this massive turnaround. The 10 of Pentacles is like a legacy. This is generational wealth. This is having so much abundance. It's having love. It's having support. It's having stability, a home, a family, all of the money and the pentacles you could need and the resources you need to be able to feel, you know, successful and stable. Stability and stable. So this is, oh my God. And then you have the 10 of Wands again. Yeah, so you had that in, what was it, February? So the 10 of Wands, it's like you've got a lot of responsibilities because you've got a lot of power. And sometimes some of those responsibilities aren't necessary. You may have taken on projects or things that are not really your responsibility to take on, but maybe you felt like you had to do it to get it done right. You know, it's like how you can't do anything right unless you do it yourself, that kind of thing. But there is an opportunity here to delegate, to let go of some of these things, to put some of those projects down and make sure that you are putting your full focus and attention into what's going to serve you the most and feel the most fulfilling and aligned with you at soul level. So this 10 of Wands, it's like, wow, 2 10s. In April, by the way, 2 10s, this is huge energy of release, conclusion, completion. These cycles are ending and there's new cycles being built on the foundations of what you've learned and experienced up until this point. So April's like a huge culmination month for you. Work through your fears. That's kind of what I was feeling before with like showing up and taking off your mask and being your authentic self. It's like this is gonna bring up some fears within you. Maybe you have to stand on stage or get up on a soapbox, or you're gonna like publish something, write something, send it into an editor or something like that. Like it's scary. That's putting yourself, your work, your heart and soul out into the world, wearing it on your sleeve. It's bringing up a lot of fears. So this new moon in Scorpio is giving you an opportunity to start a new cycle fresh, where you're taking action despite these fears, by working through them, perhaps at a subconscious level, maybe bringing them to your awareness can help to take some of this load off. This could even be fears that were learned generationally from your parents or your parents' parents. It's beliefs, it's limiting things that have kept you in that excess of responsibility. Maybe it was stuff that's not yours to heal. Maybe it's coming from your parents, and it's time to work through those and put stuff down that's not yours so that you free up more space to be able to actually do what you want to do and be who you want to be. You have the Weasel card in reverse. Be silent, pay attention, and simply observe with your eyes, ears, and physical feelings what is happening inside and all around you. So with this in reverse, there may be some resistance here to feeling into this. You know, the Pentacles and the Wands are very focused on work and projects. It's like distraction is what I'm sensing. There's a bit of distraction from this fear, but it's going to need to be addressed so that it can be reconciled and that weight can be relieved off of you so that you can actually have that success be sustainable. Because just because you're experiencing a lot of success in April doesn't mean that it's something that you can sustain. The only way to do that is to work through those fears, to be very sensitive, to feel these feelings very deeply. Like I always say, you've got to feel it to heal it. That's why I made a t-shirt in my merch line with that. It's exactly that slogan. You got to feel it to heal it. So distracting yourself from it and keeping yourself busy has been a coping mechanism essentially. And that's maybe even something you learned from your parents. Maybe they worked and worked and worked all the time and they stayed busy, but they never dealt with some of the underlying trauma or wounds or fears that they had. And you're open to doing this. I feel like there's resistance to it, but it's coming up for a reason, right? It's coming up because on some level you're aware of it and you're looking for that healing to take place. No place like home, Aquarius. So this is you connecting with your internal home. This is closing out cycles so that you can feel more at peace in your environment as well. So it does feel like there could be something connected to home and family, as the Ten of Pentacles and the No Place Like Home card can represent that exactly. So it's home, family life, connections therein. Those responsibilities could be coming from family or from perceived, family things in the past. You have sacred pleasure as well. So this is connecting back with what brings you joy. This is also very successful energy with Cat's Eye. It's Goddess Bastet. It's healing. It's mother. The mother energy is Bastet. So it's healing through your mother archetype within you, healing mother wounds, healing feminine archetypal wounds, healing the relationship with your mother potentially as well. And doing this to create confidence within yourself so that you can show up in the world as your authentic self and embrace this sacred pleasure that life holds for you when you really show up as your authentic soul self. It's really a powerful reading here already, guys. So let's see what's going on in May. You have the Knight of Wands. So it might just be a little bit of a time now in May to move forward passionately with what you want. Go after what you want. Playfully, sacred pleasure. It's like, how do you find pleasure in what you're doing for work? If you're not having fun with what you're doing, then what are you doing? You're not doing it right. Everything has to be fun, because with things that are challenging, without fun, it drains us. It's not fun for us. It's not healthy. It's not sustainable. But things that are challenging and fun, that's when we're in flow state. That's when this energy and inspiration flows to us and through us, and when we can really create something super powerful and lasting. Yes, you guys have the Nine of Pentacles too. So this is creating sustainable wealth for yourself. You might even be enjoying some of that here this month. So you might be shopping for yourself, or, treating yourself to some luxuries that maybe you haven't in the past. Maybe you've been holding off on that. And this month you're like, you know what? I've been working so hard. I've been so self-disciplined. I've created a lot of this wealth for myself. And you've overcome lack mentality. It might have been slow, but you've made it. You've really done it for yourself. And it's sustainable, and you're able to continue to do that in the future. So you're like, you know what? I deserve to stop and smell the roses every once in a while. I deserve to have some fun. I deserve to allow myself to maybe even just be a little bit impulsive with finances or your resources. That's fine. Everything in moderation though, of course, right? Don't go overboard and put yourself back into that old cycle of debt and lack. It's like, But you're allowed to have some fun. You're allowed to not save everything for a special occasion. Like, do it now. Why not? Have fun. Enjoy your life. Oh, good. The end of a tough cycle approaches. Full moon in Capricorn. So Aquarius, in May, you have another ending of a tough cycle. So those 10s were kind of like a portent for that in April. And then in May, it's like, yeah, okay, again, confirmation. These tough cycles are ending. It feels like they're kind of drawn out. It's not like it's a quick cycle that goes like month to month. This is an ongoing cycle that's been going for months or years. And so they close out slowly, and sometimes they can even overlap. So healing's not linear. I say that to my clients all the time. It's cyclical. It comes in circles. We kind of spiral around back to the same healing over and over again to make sure that we've achieved a new level of awareness. And as we continue to go in that circle, the trigger or the emotional attachment to what was happening before in that cycle, it lessens over time. You also have Panda. Create a sacred space for yourself in your home and or workplace. So you did have the no place like home card in May, and now in April, in April, and now in May, you have create a sacred space for yourself. So this could be like redecorating your home, maybe spending a little bit more money on revamping what you already have. This could even be moving home, or just like sprucing up your workspace, making sure that everything feels really enjoyable for you. It feels luxurious. It feels conducive to creative expression, right? Because if your space is cluttered, then it's not going to feel really inspiring to be in that space. So get everything the way that you want it by creating that sacred space for yourself, by designating specific areas of your home or your workplace to specific tasks. Like an office is for working, your bedroom is for sleeping, your living room is for lounging and entertainment. So make sure that you're designating those areas with those intentions so that you have very clear energetic boundaries within your home and your workplace. Happy 26, 6, 7, 8. So 8 is abundance, and happiness is coming. Oh my God, Aquarius, yay. So that tough cycle is ending, and it's bringing with it a lot of happiness, a lot of joy. There's keys that you're unlocking, previous levels of growth and fertility that were seemingly unattainable to you. It's like you're letting go of something, and you've opened up the potential to welcome in all of these gifts. So there's going to be some level of celebration that comes with that. Enjoy it. Just enjoy it. Allow yourself to be happy. You deserve to be happy, Aquarius, and whatever that looks like for you. So if that feels like lighting some candles and treating yourself to a nice meal, then do that. If that means cleaning your space and getting organized, do that. Whatever happiness looks and feels like for you. And sometimes to get to that level of happiness, we have to put in a little bit of work. But work has been what has been put in before this. Leading up to this month, you've been working a lot. You had that 10 of Wands twice. You've taken on a lot of responsibility and projects. You've had so much on your plate. So it's important to rest as well. That's why this month in May, it's going to be really about enjoying yourself, taking a minute to stop and smell the roses, like the Nine of Pentacles was saying. Rest so that you're rejuvenated to continue and keep moving and keep creating sustainable results for yourself. Because if you're burning yourself out and you're working yourself to the bone, that's not sustainable. Even if you get a level of wealth from all of that work, you can't continue it. There needs to be balance. There needs to be harmony here, and rest is 100% part of that. Okay, so we are into June now. You guys have the Ace of Cups. I love it. The Ace of Cups is a heart opening, a heart expansion. You're welcoming in new levels of love. You are increasing your own self-awareness through self-fulfillment and enjoyment, meeting your own emotional needs by taking care of yourself, essentially, is what I feel. You're allowing yourself the grace to have the time that you need to rest. You're taking the responsibilities that you maybe can delegate and doing that. You are ensuring that your cup is full, because that's the most important thing. If your cup is running dry continuously, it's not going to be sustainable, right? And if your cup is dry, then you have no energy to put into creating these results that you're looking for. So take this time to yourself to heal by resting. And that brings success. So you have a new beginning in love and emotional contentment and fulfillment in June, and you also have success and recognition. So the Six of Wands is like you're coming back from a successful achievement, that you've been on this journey and you're now returning home. This returning home theme keeps coming back up again. Maybe you're visiting home literally, or maybe metaphorically, you're just reconnecting with that heart space, because your heart is where the home is. So it's like you're reconnecting with that home within yourself to create that stability, that peace, that contentment, that feeling of belonging. That really is what you've been kind of searching for outside of yourself with other things and projects to kind of fill that void. But it lives within you, Aquarius. It lives within you, and it always has. And you're creating that harmony through, yes, these physical achievements, but also through your own personal achievements within. You have your dreams need a practical plan, full moon in Taurus. So this month could be a focus on getting a practical plan in action. It's like before, the month before, you had all of this wealth and abundance that you were enjoying. You've made a lot of successful movements up until this point. And then in June, it's like, okay, what's the next step? Where's the next dream leading me? I've achieved this level of success, and I'm feeling good about it. I have this new beginning in my heart, and I'm feeling really safe and fulfilled. So now what's next? What's the new level of dream that we really need to kind of plan out to get it to come to fruition? You have the grouse as well. So this is express yourself through rhythm and movement by drumming and dancing. So physical movement could be a part of this. I'm really kind of getting from this card attracting attention to yourself, because I'm not sure why. I don't know if this is part of like the grouse mating call or something, where they drum or like they beat their wings or something like that. I don't know much about grouses, but I feel like there's something of a it's almost like a show where they're attracting attention, where they're attracting a mate. So you guys, with that Ace of Cups, you could be getting an offer of love coming in, where somebody is kind of like attracting your attention in this really kind of offbeat sort of way, or on-beat, who knows? Or maybe you're doing that. It feels like there's a suitor of some kind, or like you're leveling up your relationship through connection in some way it's like kind of like peacocking almost. Let's see what else. Oh, all that glitters. Okay, all that glitters is not gold, Aquarius. So this is kind of asking you to assess what you're putting value in, where you're putting a lot of stock. And you could be not seeing something for what it really is. There could be sort of like something that's being offered to you, or a small level of achievement or recognition that you thought was going to be really fulfilling and successful, but once you get there, it's like, okay, but now what? It kind of feels empty. So I feel like this is going to be a month for you to reassess what you really value, and come back to that heart center again. It's like coming home to your heart, because that's where the true value lies, and the achievements on the surface aren't going to bring fulfillment alone. They can be fulfilling when there's a purpose behind it, when there's love and a fulfillment that's already existing within your heart. So keep an eye on that. The Untamed. This one's been coming up a lot for all of the signs. So letting our wildness just go, like being really untamed, and having a lot of power when it comes to creating and manifesting results in your life. I see this amber as representing confidence, abundance, self-worth, it's like you feel really good about yourself. You're getting a confidence boost of some kind, and that's maybe why you're like peacocking or showing off, or just kind of like, it's not like in an egoic way, although it can be. So if that's the case, then all that glitters is not gold. Check yourself before you wreck yourself, Aquarius. But I feel like you're just going to show up in a really confident, self-assured way. And if you're doing that in the highest expression, with that that fulfilled heart at the core of why you're feeling confident, then this is great. Unleash that, untame that, really let that blaringly show. So let's see what's going on in July. You have the King of Wands again, all right? He's come up for you twice in this year. So the King of Wands is a central focus energy for you, and it's very much about going after what you want. It's directing your energy effectively and controlling your impulsivity, but at the same time allowing that wildness to show through too, because you don't want to control the impulsivity so much that you don't take any action or you don't feel inspired at all. So it's a balancing act between, you know, how you're working with this energy, either spontaneously and creatively, or, you know, being methodical and practical. There does need to be both, and the King of Wands is here to kind of let you know you have a lot of energetic resources at your disposal, so you can really use those to go after what you want in a really powerful way. You have another knight here, so a Knight of Swords is coming up too. So in July, you have two knights, and knights are messengers. They're warriors, they're protectors. They are the ones who come in bringing information. So the Knight of Swords is information in the mental realm. So this is thoughts, beliefs, communication, speaking, texts, emails, reading, writing, that kind of thing. And then the King of Wands is like so much focus on projects and passion and creativity and expression and action. Both of these are very, very fast moving knights. Air and fire can kind of work together and build each other up, right? The fire is fed by the air, you know, and so you get this blazing flame. So make sure that you've got control of this, because this type of energy, when untamed completely, can really blow out of proportion and cause damage. But if you've got it under control, but you're allowing it to be somewhat untamed, I feel like this is actually going to be really good. So again, it's like balancing those energies, making sure that you've got them right in that sweet spot where you want them to be. Be bold and make the first move. Okay, well, since you've got the Knight of Swords and the Knight of Wands and then this Be Bold card, it's like you're going to be very bold in July. And we were kind of seeing the beginnings of that in June, where you were kind of feeling more confident and showing up and showing off and really expressing yourself and feeling good about your achievements and feeling good about yourself and your heart. And now it's like you're gaining courage to actually do something. The Knights are very action oriented, so you're doing something physically. You're being bold, you're making the first move, you're reaching out, you're taking action, you're just freaking going for it, Aquarius. Congratulations. Like, this is really intense energy. You also have Goose. Take time to rest and recuperate rather than continuing your striving. Now that's interesting, because that's very contradictory to the messages we were just getting. All of those energies were like, go, 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 be bold, make the first move, do this, do that, take action, ride in, run it, like run at your goals, sprint towards it. And then the Goose is like, well, hey, wait a second. Let's temper that with a little bit of rest, recuperation, so that you can continue to move towards your goals in a sustainable way. That message came up before. I was saying that earlier. So this is something that's being reaffirmed to you here again. Make sure that you are balancing your action with rest. So those two Ten of Wands energies don't really come about in the rest of the year, because Ten of Wands is heavy, it's burdens, it's a lot of responsibilities, it's being go, 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 go all the time to the point where you burn yourself out. So it's really important for you, Aquarius, this year in 2021 to focus on balance, so that you know when to rest and when to act. And that's going to bring you lasting success, because you already have success here. I see that in your reading. You're already seeing a lot of manifestation come to fruition in your life. You've got a lot of money, you've got job offers, you've got love. So it's really about maintaining that through the balance of rest and action. And you have serendipity as well. So serendipity is like things really just working out super, super synchronistically. So there's good luck for you here. There are things that will be brought to you. Things will seem to just work out in a really fated, sort of wonderful, magical way. So take that as it comes in, you know, take those opportunities. Because you're going to be seeing them, her eye ever open. So I see you guys really getting that clarity, that inner vision to be able to identify when these things are meant to be acted on, or when you're meant to pull back. So your third eye is going to be really active this year, or at least this month. So let's look at what's going on in August. You have the Seven of Wands. Okay, so there could be something that you're trying to feels like defensiveness. You're trying to defend what you've created. You're standing your ground. Now, this can be a really good thing when you've been challenged or you feel like you're being attacked or you need to defend your boundaries. That's definitely appropriate. Just make sure that you're not, overblowing any perceived threats. Like maybe it actually wasn't a threat, but you're perceiving it as that, so your defenses are up and you're on guard. Just make sure that you're seeing that clearly. But I think that you will be, because you had her eye ever open the last month, so you're going to be seeing those potentials. Yeah, there's a little bit of guardedness in August. It feels like you want to move forward, but you feel like you need to protect your heart in some way, like you need to protect what you've built. The Knight of Cups, he does ride forward. He brings messages of love. He wears his heart on his sleeve, but he's still armored up because he's protecting his heart. He's protecting his energetic resources too. So I feel like you guys are setting boundaries for yourself. Just make sure those boundaries are not barriers, right? That's, again, balance. You don't want to have too rigid boundaries, because that can create issues in your life as well, just as much as porous boundaries can. So we want to be right in that sweet spot where it's flexible enough that it can be adjusted, but firm enough that we are protecting ourselves. Nothing is yet set in stone. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm feeling here with this Knight of Pentacles, Knight of Cups energy, because it feels like it's not completely set in stone yet, which is why you feel like you need to defend it or protect it until it solidifies and it becomes really stable. But I get the sense that this is more in the emotional space. I think that it's actually fairly stable in the physical space, because I accidentally said Knight of Pentacles, which is very stable, very sustainable, very solid, and it is set in stone, whereas this energy is not, because it's in the emotional realm. So something in your emotional state is not set in stone, which I think is a good thing, because it's going to give you wiggle room to be able to adapt emotionally, to be able to set those boundaries where they're needed and take them down where they're not. You also have Tiger in the reverse. So Tiger says you're being called upon to provide leadership. So trust that you're capable of doing so. So this Tiger energy in the reverse could be resistance to standing in that leadership position, right? Speaking that authentic voice, really showing up in the world in a big way. There could be resistance to that. This could just need you to be a little bit more of an internal leader for yourself, because some of those boundaries maybe have become a little bit porous or too rigid, depending on what your circumstances are. And that needs to kind of be addressed through your own internal strength, internal leadership, feeling called up to action so that you can get those emotions back into a more stable space. Oh my God, flexible. That's exactly what I was picking up on. Flexibility. I love it when this happens. So yeah, this card is it's just confirmation of what I was saying. So it's being very flexible with what you're showing up in the world as, not setting too firm or rigid boundaries so that you're creating barriers where opportunities can't come in, or relationships can't flourish, but you're not being too lenient either, where you're allowing people to walk all over you or letting opportunities slip by, not acting on them. So it's being very, very flexible. And this is an internal, both of these cards being in the reverse position speaks to me of the internal realm, right? It's within rather than without. So you guys are needing this month to be flexible emotionally, because nothing is set in stone yet internally. Externally, there's a lot more stability, but this is going to be about you guys feeling stable emotionally within. Wild compassion. So be compassionate towards yourself this month, because there's a little bit of adjustment, going on here with this flexibility, needing to adapt a little bit to some changing circumstances, or just feeling internally like things are a little bit kind of all over the place. So just have this really powerful, wild compassion for yourself and for the people around you too. But I'm feeling this very internal for you this month. So connect to your heart chakra through peridot, which is the green stone represented here in this card. Connect to Ascended Master Buddha if you're needing support in being flexible and creating something a little bit more stable for yourself, even if it is in the emotional realm, right? Even if you are being tossed around on those waves, you can still have a boat that is a little bit more stable for you to stand on, instead of getting tossed around and feeling like you're drowning. That's really the goal here, is to be very compassionate to yourself, so that creates emotional stability. Okay, so let's see. We are on September now. You have Seven of Pentacles here. So the Seven of Pentacles is kind of seeing where you're at. I feel like this is you guys assessing all of the work that you've done and the things you've put in, and you're counting your, I don't know why the word counting crows just came through. I don't even know what that is. So maybe there's a message there that you're getting in terms of like numbers of crows showing up in your life. Maybe you want to count the crows and see what that means for you. That could be just a random message for somebody. But I feel like this is you guys counting your resources and just kind of assessing where you've come to and where you are right now. The Hanged Man in reverse. So seven of Pentacles is kind of like a rest. You know, you're not physically doing a lot of work with the Seven of Pentacles energy. You've done the work leading up to this point, and now you're just kind of assessing it to see how it's doing. It's like, you know, you've planted your garden, you've watered it, you've weeded it, you've done all of that, and now you're just kind of checking in to see, like, does it need a little more water? Does it need a little bit more sunlight? Do I need to do a little bit more weeding? Does it need fertilizer? Whatever. And in doing so, you're not actually doing anything, you're just kind of looking. The Hanged Man in reverse tells me that this is definitely another time to rest. You've had those repeating messages coming through. The Hanged Man could be a time where you need to let go of something or sacrifice something. This could just be sacrificing impatience. The Seven of Pentacles can be sort of an impatient energy, wanting to see results for the work that you've put in, but needing to remain a little bit patient and step back so that you can allow this growth to take place on its own. That Hanged Man energy kind of speaks to that. So I feel like in September, you guys are going to be kind of needing to pull yourself back a bit and take a step back from wanting constant results. It's a time to give rather than take. Okay, yeah, so you might even be giving to others instead of taking anything for yourself. New moon in Virgo. So Virgo is all about that physical, practical action. Like, what can you give to others to help you to not feel like you're stagnating or not feel like what you've put work into is not coming to fruition? I feel like it's going to be an important month for you to just kind of count your blessings, look at your resources, acknowledge all the work you've put in, and then be able to focus on giving rather than waiting on continuing to receive, because you will, but I think this is just kind of an interim month for you. Rattlesnake here. The experiences that you're presently going through are an initiation into fulfilling your purpose as a healer. Wow, so you guys might be giving healing to others. I'm getting like a very sort of Jesus energy coming through here, like he died on the cross. He like sacrificed. That's the sort of Hanged Man energy. And I feel like you guys are okay, so they're showing me like the story of the bread and the fish. It's like you're taking one fish and you're multiplying it into like 100, or you're taking this bread and turning it into like thousands of loaves of bread and sharing it with people. So it's a time for you to give. You're giving healing to others by the alchemy and the transformation you've done with yourself, with wild compassion, with your third eye opening. You know, all of your chakras have really been activated here. We've got the root, we've got the crown, we've got the third eye, we've got the heart, we've got the sacral. So you guys really have a lot of energetic resources, and you're being initiated into some kind of a role that you're going to give back or heal others in some way. Perhaps even healing the orphan within you, or healing others who feel orphaned or have abandonment wounds. It's this fear of being left alone or being left behind, but there's healing in that. And there's a death process that comes along with the rattlesnake too, right? Because it's like you've got to shed your skin to be able to be reborn and renewed. So I feel like there's maybe a fear of being left behind here with the Hanged Man and the Seven of Pentacles. There may be something that kind of comes up for you that asks you to kind of release some of that fear of being left behind or being forgotten, being abandoned, so that you can, again, really step into that leadership role when it comes to how you're showing up in the world and how you're helping to heal others. Heart healing. You guys, like these 2 months here have been really focused on your heart chakra. So August and September are really about you connecting with your heart chakra, healing your heart chakra, healing any abandonment wounds that have been kind of lingering under the surface. Maybe that's what's creating the impatience or the fear, or there's a resistance to just resting and not constantly moving forward. It's like the sacrifice of knowing that everything will be there and giving up that impatience is going to help you to heal your heart, because it's really stemming from a place of feeling like maybe it won't come to fruition. Maybe it won't happen. Maybe I won't be successful. Maybe I'll be abandoned or rejected. All those fears are going to be healed. And through that, you're going to help heal others to do the same thing. So let's see what's going on in October. You have the 5 of Pentacles. So there's definitely some healing of lack mentality here that you guys have been working on. Healing through the heart chakra can help you heal abundance issues as well. So if you're healing, it really dominoes into all areas. So it feels like you're going to have more than enough. You're going to have beautiful connections and support and abundance and fertility and money, and you're going to have all of the resources that you need. It's really just stepping into that heart healing so that you can attract and manifest and sustain that wealth. You also have the Page of Wands, which is, it's a very fiery, inspired energy. It's open to learning. So be open to learning new pathways and looking at new possibilities and opportunities to problem solve. The 5 of Pentacles can be a bit of an energy of lack or feeling left out in the cold. It kind of bridges onto that abandonment sort of energy that you had last month. So tune into optimistic problem solving to be able to transition out of that energy, to feel more stable within yourself so that you're not feeling really stuck and like left out or abandoned or left behind, or like your things aren't coming to you in the way that you hope they would. You and your loved ones are safe. New moon in Cancer. So in October, don't worry about your own needs or your loved ones' needs being met, because they will. This new moon in Cancer energy is very, very nurturing. So you are going to be nurtured. Your family members are going to be nurtured. Everyone's going to have what they need and be protected. So don't worry about that. You also have the honeybee in reverse. So honeybee says, let compassion and forgiveness be your top priority in this situation. Yeah, you had compassion right here in August. So this honeybee in reverse really speaks to me of being compassionate towards yourself so that you can heal. Maybe even a relationship with a loved one could be something to look at as well. I feel like you are on a journey this month to heal and to reconnect where there has been lack or disconnection. And this honeybee is like helping you do the work to do that. Okay, so the next card you guys have is peace. Peace comes from within, and you're creating peace. You might even be offering like an olive branch to somebody to create peace within this relationship. Like that 5 of Pentacles, it's those 2 cats looking at each other in the face and sharing a meal. So you might be even connecting maybe around Thanksgiving. In October, we have Thanksgiving in Canada. Maybe it's in November for you guys, but it's creating connection through compassion, forgiveness, and healing a relationship of some kind is what it feels like in November, if that's, or sorry, October, if that's something that you're looking to achieve. Spear of the Guru Mother. So this might be with a mother figure. Again, that kind of theme came up earlier. So this might be a confirmation of that for you if there's any kind of healing that needs to happen with your mother, especially if you felt abandoned by her or emotionally abandoned or neglected by her or anything like that. This could also just be you reintegrating your own mother archetype within you, remothering, reparenting yourself, connecting with that nurturing energy of that Cancer moon that you guys had here. So I really feel like this is super grounding for you. It's connecting you with your roots in a really strong way that's going to help to create that peace that we saw here. So yeah, October looks very peaceful, forgiving, compassionate, creating and reestablishing these connections with loved ones or within yourself too. Okay, so let's look at what's going on in November. You have the 5 of Cups. Interesting. And I'm just noticing that there's May on the calendar here. So I can't remember what we had for May, but maybe this will be connected to that. So the 5 of Cups is kind of like focusing on what you don't have. It's grief as well. It can be loss, grieving things that you've lost in the past. But the important thing with the 5 of Cups here is about perspective. So it's about creating perspective for yourself so that you see what you do have rather than just focusing on what you've lost or what you don't have. You have the Ace of Pentacles again. Well, you've had this come up 2 times. So you've got new levels of opportunity and growth that are being presented to you in 2021 on a big scale. These are blessings, opportunities, and luck from the universe. You did have serendipity earlier as well. So you've got a lot of luck that's being presented to you, especially financially, monetarily, or with physical gifts, opportunities, or invitations. So go through that doorway, go through that portal, really create that growth for yourself. It's a choice, right? And it's about your perspective and what you want to do with that. Don't let pride get in your way, Aquarius. The full moon and Leo energy kind of brings up some of that confidence that we saw earlier can turn into, like peacocking can be a positive thing, or it can turn into pride and ego. So it's important to balance that and make sure that your pride isn't getting in your way from taking on an opportunity or from letting go of something from the past. It feels like a grudge. For somebody, this mother theme keeps coming up. Maybe you have like a long-standing grudge that you hold against your mother, either physically, like you don't talk, you're not in connection, you're estranged in some way, or maybe it's just something that's been kind of under the surface that needs to be talked about. Maybe you're still in connection with your mother and your relationship is fine, but there's something there that needs to be expressed and forgiven. And sometimes I think maybe our ego tries to protect us by resisting doing that, by having pride kind of get in the way of doing or having that conversation, or willing to be vulnerable, willing to admit our mistakes, that kind of thing. Maybe there was something there. So there's an opportunity here, whatever it is. It's up to you to embrace it and not let your pride get in the way. You have polar bear. Stand up for yourself and speak your truth respectfully and compassionately with no attachment to the outcome. Okay, so that's a super confirming message of kind of what I was just saying there. If there's something that you need to say to your mom, whether she's still here or not, communicating that can be helpful, even just to yourself. Write a letter, write a text, write an email, make that phone call. Do what you need to do to speak your truth respectfully and compassionately. Remember, you had compassion here a lot, lots of heart work that you've been doing. So connecting to your authentic voice through the compassion that you have with no attachment to the outcome. Maybe this is you asking for forgiveness, and there may be an attachment to the outcome, and if they say no, it's like your pride would be hurt. So have no attachment to the outcome. Just speak your truth from the heart and then let it go. It doesn't matter what the other person's reaction is, whether it's your mother or not, or somebody else that kind of comes to mind that you've been thinking of in this situation. Just let the outcome be what it is. It's not your responsibility to control that. All that you're responsible for is communicating your truth from the heart, respectfully, gracefully, and then letting it go. You have higher power, Aquarius. Higher power coming in to support you in this decision. It might take some courage for you. It might make you kind of have to go up against your ego to push this forward or take this opportunity or have this conversation, but you're being guided for a reason. This is your higher power coming in to support you in something that's going to be very freeing and liberating for you at soul level. Yeah, feel that very strongly. Discernment. So this is another heart chakra crystal. So you guys are using your heart to discern what the next best course of action will be. Is it going to be having this conversation? Is it going to be taking the opportunity, whatever it is? So it's like, use your heart to guide the way instead of your logic or your mind. Follow what your heart is telling you to do, because that's what needs to be done. And that's where that higher power is coming from. The inner pull that your heart is creating is there for a reason. It's leading you in that direction for a reason. There may be some egoic, sort of prideful resistance to that. That's normal. That happens. But just be very discerning about what would be in your best interest from the level of very compassionate open-heartedness. Okay? So last but not least, we have December 2021 for Aquarius. You guys have the Knight of Pentacles. You've had a lot of knights this year. 2021 is a year of movement for you guys. You're creating progress. You're moving forward. You're really being the messenger for other people, it feels like. You're creating opportunities for yourself too. And the Knight of Pentacles is super stable. So where we didn't have the stability and nothing was set in stone before with that Knight of Cups, now you've got the Knight of Pentacles, which is very stable energy. And he's got a plan. All of that that planning that you were doing in, what was that, June, is going to be very present in December. It's like all that time later, you're finally starting to see your plan come into action. You have the King of Cups as well. So your plan could be involving a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio man, or somebody who holds a very masculine energy within this King of Cups sort of vibe. The King of Cups is very psychic, intuitive, compassionate, very emotionally mature, stable, grounded. He's very connected to that higher power energy as well, and to the heart chakra. So this could even be you embracing this energy within yourself, being very action-oriented, stable and grounded, and yet able to adapt and be flexible. That's again, some of these themes over the course of this year that I've been presenting. It feels like they're really coming to a culmination point in December. Surrender to the divine. So that's kind of where that Hanged Man energy and the energy of that ego was coming in. I feel like there was maybe some resistance to surrendering and just allowing things to be what they are. But I feel like that higher power came in through your heart chakra, through the third eye. You're seeing things clearly, you're feeling things clearly, you're speaking your truth, and that higher power came through and allowed you to surrender to the divine, because that's your highest calling. You know, that's your highest self, and your highest self is you. Your ego creates resistance from what is actually divinely guided for you, because it doesn't necessarily know what that is. But the higher self does, the divine does. So surrender to that process. Surrender to your intuition, your heart, your feelings, your emotions, your psychic abilities, your clairvoyance. That's very King of Cups energy. So surrender to that, and you will have this full moon energy at your side. And there's the Peacock. I had a feeling the Peacock was going to come up in this reading. Let yourself stand out and be noticed, Aquarius. So there's that confidence coming in again, but not in a prideful or egoic way. It's just a very like, look what I can do kind of thing. It's like, this is your way of showing up in your authenticity. And it's not that you're showing off for approval. It's that you're just being you, and your fantastic self is amazing. It's like, yeah, you might be using this to even attract a mate, or to attract, who knows, like clients, or to just create the reality that you want. But this is who you are, right? You can't hide that. Like the Peacock has that. It's built in. It's not something that he's putting on, or that he's faking, or that he's doing for like attention. It really is authentic. It's very attention grabbing, but it's authentic, and it's coming from a very pure place. Surrender to that divine and be your best self, because when you show up in a big way and you're not afraid of outshining other people, that's when you inspire others. That's when you really flow in yourself, and that's when you create good results. Manifest a lot of material wealth too. You have chop wood in reverse. So chop wood is all about doing menial tasks, being very focused in the physical, just kind of getting things done, ticking off your to-do list, that kind of thing. But it's coming up in the reverse. So it's like this month in December, you've had a lot of things that you needed to do. You've had a lot of tasks that needed to be accomplished. And in this year, you've had a lot of responsibility that you've put on your back and you've been carrying around with you. And those wood, you know, chopped wood, it's like the wands that you were carrying around. You had 10 wands in your hand, and now you've chopped that wood. You've put them in their designated piles. You've organized them. You've burned some of them for fuel to cook something that you were making. I'm cooking something up. Aquarius, you've been cooking something up this whole year, and this chopped wood, it's like, okay, again, rest. Take some time to rest. You don't always have to accomplish all of those menial tasks. Sometimes it's important for you to just connect with you. And I feel like that's what that King of Cups energy is there for in December. It's like, make sure that you're taking care of you and your emotional needs and your emotional well-being. So if you need to put off doing the dishes, that's fine. Empowered service. Okay, so this could also be a higher level of service that you're doing. Instead of like menial tasks, like little things around the house, this is empowered service on a large scale. So it's stepping outside of just chopping wood and like manufacturing wood. It's like you guys are going to be a powerhouse of service to others. You're going to be showing up in a huge way, maybe even being a healer like we saw in that month there. So this is you guys really stepping into your empowered self. And when you do that and you throw up, maybe you're so nervous you feel like you're going to throw up standing in your authenticity and speaking your truth. Okay, that happens, but just push through it, because you'll get more secure as you do it. You'll get more confident as you just continue to do it. The first few times are always the scariest, when you show up and you do something outside of your comfort zone. I can tell you that from my own experience. Like, I used to dance on stage, I used to sing on stage, I do live videos here, and I'm so not a showy person. Like, I have such social anxiety, it's almost crippling, and I've had to deal with that because my empowered self is somebody who speaks and sings and communicates and like shows up on the stage, you know what I mean? And that's so scary for me that sometimes I shake and I feel like I want to puke, but like I still do it because it's me. And I can't not be me, because that would be crippling. That would be crushing. You know, I can't live a life like that. And I hope that you guys realize that you can't live that life either, because that life is not your empowered self. And you've got this one life to really express who you are. I mean, you've got multiple lives to do this, but this is the one where you get to be you, whatever your name is. You know, this is the one where I'm Siobhan, and the next life I'm somebody else, but I'm still me. But I want to be the best Siobhan that Siobhan can be. And I hope that you out there are the best you that you can be. So stand in your empowered service. Guys, stand in your empowered service. You're doing great. And connect through the heart to express what that is for you. Could be healing. Maybe some of you are healers, either traditional or non-traditional, because there's a lot of heart chakra, a lot of healing energy here. Maybe you're shamans. Maybe you're psychics. Maybe you're clairvoyant. Maybe you're intuitive. Embrace that. Stand in your authenticity. All right, guys, so that is your reading for 2021, year ahead. I really hope that you enjoyed it and that you found some value in these messages that were coming through. Keep in mind, again, everything is mutable and adaptable. You can always shift or change this energy. If there's anything that you want to shift, you can. You are always at free will and at choice. These are just general guidance for you to use to your benefit as you go through the year of 2021. If you'd like any other empowered service that I can provide to assist you throughout the course of this year, please reach out to me at services.ToKittyandBeyond@gmail.com. All of the information on my services and pricing is in the description box below this video, but I'll list them here as well in case you're curious. I'm an intuitive tarot therapist, I'm a spiritual counselor, I'm a Reiki master practitioner, and I do clairvoyant long distance Reiki, and I also am a soul realignment Akashic record reader. So I have all of those services and tools that I can support you on your spiritual journey here on earth in this incarnation to be your empowered self, to show up as your highest expression, and to have that wild compassion in your heart for yourself so you can really heal not only yourself, but all of these relationships that you have and your relationship with money so you can create abundance in the future. All right, guys, thank you so much for listening and for being here, and we'll see you again next time. Bye.